All right, let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our July Circular Lunch Club from value to business waste. And who better to share that than Madam Waste? My name is Mark Lamani. I'm your host from Circular South Africa, and I'm joined by none other than Dr. Gamuchirai Mutezo, who is the founder of Madam Waste. And I'm sure you've all heard about this amazing the work that they do and the initiatives that they have. So, but she'll go into depth with that now. But so let me not take up too much of that time. So, what we'll be doing is exploring how circular approaches can reduce and also create business value. And if you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining our session. This is a real bite-sized session for us to see circular economy in practice and also to get to know each other in the communities and get our voices because at the end, I'd really like everyone to just put their videos on and let's engage, let us get to know each other. And also, it's also a space to actually create collaboration. So please use the chat to let us know who you are, where you're from. We really want to hear from you. We want to welcome in the voices. And then a little bit about Circular South Africa. We are a national platform that was designed to amplify the just circular economy transition in South Africa. We also connect organizations, initiatives, and practitioners working to advance the circular economy in South Africa, guided by the three strategic pillars of knowledge sharing and capacitation, facilitating partnerships and collaboration, and also scaling the circular economy. So you ask yourself, why is the circular economy important in South Africa? It's because we're a real resource extractive economy that has resulted to resource depletion, social inequalities, and environmental degradation. So the circular economy provides us with a regenerative alternative that gives us economic health, human health, as well as environmental health, and also business opportunity guided by the four principles of designing out waste and pollutions, keeping materials at their highest value, regenerating natural systems, and one that we value the most at Circular South Africa is benefiting all members of society. So earlier I spoke about collaboration. So the circular economy really provides a cross-sectoral systems approach, which provides opportunities for interconnectivity within all sectors, as that's what speaks to collaboration for circular economy to really have a closed loop system, there's a need of collaboration in all different sectors. And um, at CSA, we have partnered with CSIR and NCPC on a circular economy mapping campaign. And this is really a call for everyone to just, if you can right now, take out your phone, scan the QR code, and really submit a case study of the great work that you are doing. I'll also share a link of this in the chat as well as in the post-event email because we, as Circular South Africa, we get a lot of people asking us when they're writing their thesis or doing some research, where do I find information on this specific sector? So if we have a place where all circular economy initiatives and projects are mapped in one place, it also gives a great opportunity for collaboration and networking through the space. So please submit case studies, or if you know anyone that has a great circular economy case study, please share the links with them so that we can also hear from them and we can amplify their work. With no further ado, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Gamushara.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let me get my sharing happening and we can start. There we go. Right, Mark, can you confirm that
You're
my press?
confirmed. You're visible.
Awesome. Great. Once again, thank you so much. I am delighted to be part of the Circular Lunch Club on the other side. Usually we are on that side being the guests, the spectators, and the listeners. And here we are having the first-hand experience. I'm going to take on a slightly different approach. Since it's lunch, some of us have our lunch boxes open, we've got our takeaways prepared, we've got our cups of teas, glasses of water, and some other beverages that we won't mention online. And so the storytelling approach then makes it comfortable and also easy to digest, no pun intended. And as indicated, the name is indeed Gamuchirai Mutezo, but Gamu for short. And I founded Madam Waste about 9 years ago. For some context, background is urban planning, but with a love for environmental planning. And throughout the journey, one has always wondered to what extent are planners, whether town planners or urban planners, being intentional to design in these systems of waste diversion, waste separation, and also decentralized energy systems. So all that you'll be listening to in the next 20 odd minutes is that culmination. It came from a space of curiosity, a space of passion. Can we be intentional to design in these systems? Along the journey, of course, one has an appreciation for different streams of waste material, construction and demolition, plastic, electronics, etc. But this guy called organics, you know, that cousin when you go to the party, there's that cousin who's there, and not everyone is always engaging with that cousin. I took quite a bit of interest because I felt, wow, this is one of the most beautiful and most amazing streams of waste material. The fact that you can convert this into cooking gas or heating, the fact that you can use the digestate to replenish soil, the fact that you can turn it into compost, into biochar, so many possibilities and so forth. And even the complexities that come with managing organic waste, they just made it really exciting. And so the work that we've been doing as Madam Waste over the past few years is not only looking at the trainings, workshops, and consulting side of it, but also being intentional. Word of the year, intentional. Raising our hand and saying, let us, as many others are trying, be part of those sharing knowledge and showcasing what can be done specifically in our urban areas. You close your eyes, you open up, there's a development. You turn to the left, there's a development. So we need to continue being intentional. There's enough organic material for all of us to participate in the space. And so that sets the premise for our chat throughout this afternoon. So when we were looking at organics, we like, this beautiful stream, it's not just about the aspect of disposing it. We really need to appreciate the material inflow and the material outflow, right? If you're using this wonderful resource as a feedstock, what type of value can it actually add? Whether it's value on a household level, value on an institutional level, value on a corporate level, there should be something along those lines. So it became very evident to us in the early days that we needed to unpack this entire value chain and understand waste in its traditional sense. How should it ideally be handled? In what state should it be in? That's where separation at source, the conversations, the deliberations start to come in. Like, all right, now that we've managed to separate at source or understand the dynamics, the second thing is, if it has been separated to the degree that we want, which byproducts can we look into? We took an interest in decentralized biogas systems. So that's what I did my doctorate in, to really encourage and see these energy hubs, small scale energy hubs or medium sized energy hubs being considered as part of our city's design structures, right? And because we are putting these biogas systems in place for composting and any other technology, one starts to appreciate the value that can come out of it. And that's where we've got point 3. If I am separating in my household, which I do, yes, I do, and I've got a little garden to show it. If I'm separating, some of the value that I'm currently enjoying right now is the fact that it takes plus minus 2 weeks to fill the bin. Recyclables one side, every Tuesday, there's that guy, that waste reclaimer who comes in, his material is ready. But the organic material, it gets into the little garden outside. So that is a saving because one is not constantly purchasing bin lining. As a very simple example, in an organizational setup, the principle could be the same. that you've got the savings of not having to pay long distance cost of taking this material from point A to point B. The reality that we'll continue hearing over the next 5 to 10 years is that limited landfill space. So if one continues with this up and down, taking the material far, far away, as Shrek would put it, the value is a catch-22, whilst decentralization means you can maximize on cost savings, just as one of those. So in essence, circularity is the operating logic behind it. The principles of circularity were what we engraved from the beginning, as the young people would put it. Once that was done, we needed to appreciate the two business outcomes that would be out of it. There's the linear liability and the circular resource. This is quite key because, again, remember I said that cousin that no one wants to talk to. Linear liability is easy. Just take and dispose. It's quick, it's cheap. Manage this rubbish, Bob's your uncle. We don't always see the environmental or the health impacts because NIMBY is not in my backyard anymore. While that may be debatable in terms of it being cheap, there is a cost to it. Then the circular resource component, we delved into more detail. Said, right, in our case, we are big fans of decentralized biogas system. Let's look at the biogas component. Let's enjoy the heating component. Let's look at the digested component. There's a lot of value that can be created, but importantly, on a personal level, the enterprise development. The fact that when you unpack these resources that are attainable from valorizing waste, you can encourage local economic development. You can inspire the younglings, even your kid, yes, your nephew, your niece, if they can see the value that's attainable, these are the guys that will carry on with the activities of diversion and processing because they can see a business opportunity out of it, whether it's the collection side or even linked to waste data or the social media marketing, making organic waste fun, exciting, sexy, trending. There can be economic activities out of it. So that, again, just validated our reason for existence. And so we get to the heartbeat. Part of the work we do is storytelling. Storytelling, because you open TikTok, you open Instagram, it's a R&B artist who's trending, it is a soccer match that's trending. Seldom do we see the beauty of organic material trending. And some of these things start at home. It's what we're exposed to, it's what we feed the mind. As the saying goes, you don't know what you don't know until you're exposed to it. And that inspired us to set up our demonstration site. We did this 2 years ago. Actually, we turned 2 on the 28th of August. Yes. So we did this 2 years ago, and we did it in partnership with the South African Biogas Industry Association, as well as the Agricultural Research Council. It was very critical for us to find like-minded partners because the vision, when you share the vision, either internally or with partners, you go much further than anticipated. But if you're partnering for the sake of a quick buck, we'll keep writing scary stories about how bad organic material is. So coming back to the demo, let me take a sip. After all, it is lunch, right? Right. We set up shop at the Irene campus, which is under the auspice of the ARC. Very befitting, ladies and gents, very befitting because access to Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, as well as Johannesburg, which means you and you, including your kids and your nephews and nieces, can access the facility, come and see it. It's not going to be a case of, but it's so far. Nope, we are right in the center, so you can come and see some of the work that we're doing. Secondly, The ARC's facility focuses on livestock, from the cows, the pigs, the chickens, you name it. We can utilize part of that material to do, excuse me, and demonstrate these decentralized processing activities. So that vision is shared, we set up shop. Then the model that I introduced you to, this is how we started to roll it out. We ensured that we could source separated organic material. We were lucky enough not only to have access to the animal manure, but to have access to one or two retailers who shared the vision and said, hey, this is cool. We do have material and it's relatively clean. See what you can do with it. Let's see how the cookie crumbles. So that gave us a wonderful opportunity to play with different menus. Today, we mix 100% food waste. Tomorrow, we've got a little bit of animal manure, food waste. Other days, we're also mixing some garden material. So we really had, as the saying goes, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious time playing with organic material. That's how much I love it.
Gamal,
We had,
five
yes.
more minutes. 5 more minutes. I'm so sorry.
No, I asked you to be my timekeeper. I told you the passion would get the best of me. All right, to speed it up a bit, we selected two technologies, a composting technology as well as biogas. The beauty about this is as individuals, as organizations, kids, you name it, come and see some of these things on a decentralized scale so that you can touch, feel, smell. And once you do that, coming back to the storytelling, it does something to the mindset. You start to see the beauty and the value that you can obtain from organic material. So on site, we utilize it as cooking gas. We also utilize the composting, hence the garden that you're seeing in the background. We do some trainings and workshops, demonstration, and then, of course, being a social enterprise, we sell this compost, which is 100% deliciousness. And then, of course, one makes sure that data is king. So the measuring element comprises of both quantitative and qualitative. So appreciating how much are you able to process within a given area or with certain clients? At the same time, how is that shifting the behavior change of the clients along the way? So for those who may be interested to come and check out what we do, the doors are open. All right. Now the value part. Okay, I had already touched on some of these things. The fact that you start to see how you can avoid certain costs, such as those that are linked to collection, as well as the disposal fees. The resilience component. Did you even have the gas to cook with in your institution, in your house? It makes a big difference. I kid you not. Even if there is a 10% reduction in your electricity cost, did you have that 10% to begin with? And what did it start with? The organics that were within your surrounding. Then, of course, the ESG evidence. This is becoming, not even becoming, this is the gospel of the day within our space, being able to account. So the moment you are decentralizing some of these things, it is easy for the next person to come and see exactly who, where, how, and why this is happening. It's not just limited to econometrics and assumptions and chat extracting new stuff. Then the new products, as indicated, we do composting, we've got the digestate, and that in itself opens up opportunities for even urban food systems, hence the garden that we have. And like I mentioned, the local economic development. I'm quite a fan of that component because if we're able to show one or two individuals that you can run a business out of this, and you're able to show one or two corporates or retailers that you can come and physically audit how these technologies are managing your material, hey, that's a win for the industry. And with the amount of organics we have, it is necessary. The process is relatively simple. Blueprint. So take out your pens and papers, place them right next to your lunchbox. Know the waste. Appreciate what quantities are. Then from there, you should be able to define what value can be extracted from it. be it financial, non-financial, environmental, social. Based on the type of feedstock you have, then you look at the model that needs to be implemented. Is this a technology you as an institution are going to consider in-house? Is it a model that you need to partner with CBOs and NGOs? Is it a model that becomes a service offering from your perspective? Piloting is key. We can tell you firsthand over the next 10 million years, piloting really helps us to manage risks, issues on a relatively small scale. And within our industry, it also plays a big role in shifting people's mindsets to participate in the work. And from there, you can start looking at phased scaling. So starting small, eat the elephant one body part at a time, then Bob's your uncle, not the entire elephant, or else you will not digest it. All right. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my little story for you this afternoon. That's simply saying, this evening, when you get home, some of us may already be doing it. Some of us may not be doing it. Let's be intentional in our homes and in our institutions to look at organics as a value, as an opportunity. Do this with your kids. Do this as part of your office team building exercises, because we can't wait for municipalities to do this alone. They may have the mandate to do so. I see you are doing this with the neck. This is my concluding sentence. They may have the mandate to do so, but as much as we are the waste generators as well, we are equally part of the solution. So that, again, is the story. Signing out as your organic waste influencer. Thank you, Mark, and back to you.
Oh, thank you so much. And when I was just trying to fix this, I wasn't trying to hurry you because I can't.
Oh.
It feels like a sin to stop you. And happy 2 years of impact. Well done on the great work that you have been doing with Madam Waste and the great work that you're doing holistically just by being a influencer. And what I saw though on the chat, people were saying that they were paying close attention to what you were saying. So I think they're ready for the quiz now that you have for them.
All right, let's do the
Yeah.
quiz. Out of 10 marks.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. So anyone that have a question for Dr. Gamuchirai, please, this is the time now where we can really, even if you just want to just praise her great work that she's doing, but please unmute yourself, put your cameras on, let's have a chat.
You know, as a lecturer, when your class is quiet, one of two
Yeah, you
things.
start.
Either you did a good job explaining or you shocked the system.
Thank you so much, Hendrik. You can definitely ask your question. Hendrik, are you there?
Oh, yes. Sorry, my mic didn't want to unmute.
No
Um,
problem.
yes, it looks like nobody wants to break the ice, so I
Thank
will.
you for being the
Uh,
brave man.
yes, it's great to see what you are doing and that you are pulling in the kids. So that is great for me because they
Mm,
need to see from a young age what is possible with waste, especially because I think that is the one thing in South Africa that is totally undervalued and where we have a massive opportunity in South Africa, especially when you talk waste to energy. We have such a massive opportunity. So thank you very much for that, number one. But just a comment from my side. A couple of years ago, the NPC ran a project on biogas in South Africa. And I was one of the fortunate ones to attend that. And we were really just a handful of people. I think we were at the end about 12 people who did that, and they cancelled it afterwards, because in the past, there was, I think, about 3 big projects in South Africa that did biogas, and 2 of them failed. And the biogas SA started up after that, etc., to try and see what's happening with biogas in South Africa, because the opportunity is huge. But the case studies were really not that great. But there are projects in South Africa. So biogas is a great opportunity, but it is more difficult than what people think. It is not such let's just run with it. But in your instance, I think it is definitely something which is, I think, more manageable because it is on smaller scale. And especially if you can work together a couple of companies, I think canteens, for instance, and where you have industrial hubs, etc., and 3 canteens work together, and suddenly you have biogas available that can go even if it goes only to 1 canteen. You have an opportunity if you bring in people like Biogas SA, etc. It's a huge opportunity. But taking this further, I mean, it is great to have this now on a small scale. You have it there, it's working. But now taking it further, do you have any idea of what's the next steps? Because it's set up, but now it must go to industry, it must go to other places, it must now be marketed, it must be showcased in other places, and other people must take hold of it. Or Biogas SA must take it further. What's the next steps? That's my question.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Hendrik. I'll start off with the comment you shared. The kids are the best police officers and target market. So we need to keep exposing them and have these conversations over weekends when we are braaiing or in the evenings when we are doing school runs. So us in this space, we are lucky enough to be operating in it, and so it becomes easier. But with that cousin of ours who works in procurement at that other organization, we can have these conversations and make them part of everyday life. Coming to your question around the biogas component, my area of interest is mainly the small to medium size because I'm advocating for decentralized technologies. We do see the big and really large scale biogas systems, not just in South Africa, but across the African continent. And those can take time and they can take almost 7 zeros at the end of a figure. So while that is taking time, there are pockets that we can already maximize on. And how we can do this, I'll quickly share my screen and take you to our TikTok page just to show you 1 or 2 videos that, all right, can I just get confirmation that you can see?
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
visible.
Okay, so in order for you as a decision maker in your institution to appreciate biogas, one of 2 things. Either you're already in the sustainability space and there's an appreciation for biogas as a technology and that willingness to give it a shot, or you've been in your institution and you're like, but, and then won't this thing smell? And that's where you see, okay, we need to start off with a bit of a mindset shift. Hence the purpose of this demonstration. So when people come to the site, this is what they see. We've got these 2, we just start the beginning. There we go. So we've got these 2 technologies, a floating dam as well as a biogas bag, right? And these are locally manufactured. We don't manufacture them ourselves because we already identified friends in the space who are doing it, and we're a systems integrator. We know exactly how to bring it in. So when it comes to the technicalities of designing the floating dome or the bag itself, it is through collaboration. After all, collaboration is the new competition. We were intentional to have the small systems so that as a decision maker, you can come and play with these systems. Then you start to appreciate how you can adapt it in your organization. Your organization might have 5,000 employees and a canteen. So instead of that material being taken off your site. This is what you then expose, not just the kitchen staff or the cleaning staff, but even the employees in the building to appreciate that, oh, this is why all of us need to separate if we don't finish our lunch boxes, or why we need to separate when we don't finish our canteen bought food. That gas is then reticulated into the kitchen. Whether it is complementing the electricity that's being utilized or it's complementing the LPG, at least that becomes a practical aspect to decentralizing. So my point is we start off by marinating the mindset so that you can appreciate it on a small scale. And the moment we have an understanding of the quantities, the feedstock typologies, etc., it becomes customizable. And that's one of the beauties about small to medium size. These are decisions that can be made here. Tomorrow's board meeting, we can make a decision, while the big to large industrial scale systems may take a bit of time. There's basically space for everyone. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Gamo, for that great explanation, and obviously Hendrik for starting the conversation and asking such a brilliant question, because I was also wondering about the biogas, how feasible it is in South Africa. However, there was a question from Abigail, and I know we're over time, but thank you guys for whoever's still sticking around. I want to take the questions. If Abigail, if you're around, please ask your questions. And for now, let's Nomonde, please. We want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you
All
are
right.
very.
Thanks. Great presentation, great initiative, I must say. I just want to find out about, you mentioned that your operation or your establishment was, your facility was established 2 years ago. I'm curious to find out the experiences that you had to go through or to deal with during public participation, the lessons learned when you obviously applied for environmental authorizations and your basic assessments and your waste handling permits. Yeah, thanks.
Gail, we need a cup of tea.
It's no Monday. No
Oh,
Monday.
it's no
Nomonde.
Monday. All
Yeah.
right. Apologies.
Yeah.
No Monday, we need a cup of tea. But jokes aside, we started off by appreciating, of course, the norms and standards, and we're intentional to design a demo that is under 1 ton per day. So if it's under 1 ton per day, there are certain, shall I say, graces that you'll experience compared to those who are handling 10 tons of organic material per day. That's one. Two, we also have an environmental and sustainability officer as part of our team. So in the design and setting up of this facility, she was assisting us and supporting us with all the regulatory items that we needed to have in space. So whether it is the signage or the standard operating procedures, or how we're going to handle the material as it comes in, especially the food material that's coming in versus the manure that we already have access to on site, all of those were now documented into the standard operating procedures. When we do decide to go beyond the 1 ton per day, that's when it also activates that next level of non-grace, and you start to look at the permits as well as the licensing that links to it.
Oh, okay. So this is, if I correctly understand you, this is something that you're looking in the near future.
100%. Hence, this is strictly demonstrative. Hence, all of the activities are on a small scale. Because once you are demonstrating, tomorrow, if one decides that, hey, we can actually set up a 15 ton per day facility,
Of course.
we can extrapolate the experiences from the demonstration itself.
Okay, we definitely need a coffee. We definitely need a coffee.
I'll
Thanks,
hear
madam.
from you on Monday.
Thanks,
All
madam.
right. So
Sure.
before we close off the session, I just wanted to ask Aisha or Zuki, see, did you guys want to ask anything? Did you want to ask anything? Because I saw on the chat you said you couldn't unmute. So are you guys good?
I'm all good. I'm just in awe and excited, and yeah, I want one for my house or my
Nice.
suburb.
There we go. There's some connections over there. But
Thank you
nonetheless, thank you
so.
so much. Yes, sorry.
Oh,
Don't.
all
No,
right,
go
all
for it. Go
right.
for it.
No problem. Thank you so much for such a great, and informative presentation. I've learned so much, and I'm really hoping that I can join more of this. They're so informative. Thank you, guys. And yes, also from Madam Waste, we'll definitely be catching up. Thank you for putting your email address. Sorry, the website. In fact, I was about to ask for that. Thank you.
Mm, beautiful. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the session, and a big thank you to Dr. Gamo for always being amazing. And it's such a pleasure always presenting with you, and to many more sessions like this, and to all the success to you and Madam Waste and everyone else. Have a great afternoon and a great week.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Thank you very
Bye,
much, everyone.
everyone.
Thank you very much.